Hello and welcome to the Full Octane channel. Do you have Arlo cameras and are you as fed up with them as I am? Well, we're going to show you an option today that you can totally replace your Arlos with, get rid of your subscription, have a very similar experience from an app perspective, but get better notifications and have 4K quality, all for no monthly charge. Let's get right to it. I don't know about you, but I've had Arlo cameras probably for 5 or 6 years, and they were the hot ticket when they came out. They were small, they were battery operated. The battery life was reasonable, but you still had to get up on a ladder and change the batteries if you didn't have them down at regular height. And then after a while, these cases actually get shrunk up a little bit to where the camera doesn't come out very easily to change the battery. So you really get in a bad situation with these cameras. I've had them for some time. These do require, my original ones required a base station. The later ones would work on regular Wi-Fi. Now I did like the fact that they worked on Wi-Fi. Unfortunately, my new solution does not totally work on Wi-Fi, but it does replace the Arlo camera, and you're not going to have to change batteries. So I ended up buying an Eufy system, and it's EUFY. I'm not sure if it's being pronounced correctly or not, but these are 4K cameras, and they have a solar panel on top of them, and they claim that it takes 1 to 2 hours a day of sunlight to keep these things fully charged, and you'll never have to get up on the ladder and change these darn Arlo batteries again. They do have some optional charging pads. Now, my kit came with 4 cameras and 2 of these remote charging pads. These remote charging pads do require a mounting plate, and you can face them toward the sun. They probably have a 6-foot wire, and they will plug into the camera and give you extra charging capability if you're in a shady spot. I do have one camera that is under a deck, and it does not get any direct sun, so I was able to put one of those charging plates on top, drop the wire through, plug it in the camera, and so far it's been charging extremely well. Now I've only had these things a day so far to watch, but time will tell on these how good they are. Now, from an inside camera perspective, they really prefer to do a wired solution, and when I say wired, it just needs to be plugged into an outlet with some power. And that's where this little guy comes in. This little guy has a 360-degree spin. It will tilt and pan straight up and down. It is also a 4K camera. It also does have a provision for a memory card. It comes with a small memory card. You can do, my understanding is, if you have the base station with enough memory in it and have this, you can do continuous recording mode with this. That's really nice. They claim that these, if you have them plugged into a full-time power source, at some point are going to have continuous recording mode. That's going to be cool too. Now, this little camera is really designed to mount this way or this way. When you do mount it on the wall, you'll find that as it's panning around the room and following whatever the object is, the room will tilt in the screen. I don't care for that, so I bought an extra little mount that I'm going to be able to mount on the wall. And what it does, it utilizes the standard screw mount, and then this will set on that. So when it mounts to the wall, it's still going to have its 360-degree turn. It'll follow me, and everything will be horizontal in the camera. These little cameras, I don't know, they're somewhere in the $159 range. I got the 4K, this is called the S3. The S3 actually has a little sonar or radar on the bottom of it. Gives it a little better range of motion monitoring. This also has nighttime color resolution. It also has infrared for nighttime, and from what I've seen in other people's videos, The quality is really, really good. I have tested this some. You are able to actually zoom in and read license plates, which is really cool. This does have a very bright night light. It has a adaptive night light also. So in the event that an object or somebody with a brightly white colored shirt walks up on the white, it will dim the light so that it doesn't wash the picture out. And that's really cool too. I'm hopeful that where I mount these guys, that they're going to charge. I've seen some really, really good results where people have never had to take these down to charge. Now, the downside to this particular camera versus the Arlo 100% Wi-Fi. This particular device has a base station that comes with it. I bought the base station, 4 cameras, 2 charging pads, and 4 mounts for, I believe, on Amazon, and I'll have links below. At the time of the purchase, I paid $799 for this kit. Now, as I was exploring and looking at the kit, I was assuming that the cameras actually talked over my Wi-Fi network. This plugged into my network and they would communicate. I happen to be in a remote building on my property, which is Wi-Fi connected. And I was sadly mistaken and found out that each of these base stations communicate directly to the camera, very much as an Arlo does. And what that really leads to is that these have a specific range. So you really want to put this in this central location in your house if you're going to have perimeter cameras or cameras on different floors. So in my main house, I did put one of these in the main house, centralized. I've got, I believe, 6 cameras over there, and all 6 communicate to it very nicely. So there's no problem with that. But now that I come out to my barn, I have 2 more, actually 3 more cameras that I want to connect. So that necessitated the need to buy another base station. So I bought 2 full kits, and that gave me an additional base station, a couple more charging pads. Now, I haven't tried it out. As I set up, I'm going to learn, but my understanding is you can set this base station up to be a remote off of the home base station. Now, I think this has 16 gigs of memory in it to start with. It does have the ability to put a hard drive in here, which is really cool. I haven't opened this yet, but there is a slot that comes out. I think you have to undo a screw. The slot comes out and you can get a laptop type hard drive. You can get a couple of terabyte in here and have days or months worth of recordings stored in the device. I'm going to find out here pretty soon whether I can push recordings from this to my master device and just buy 1 hard drive, or am I really going to have to buy 2 hard drives? So that'll be a follow-up video to let you know how that goes. This was really meant to be an intro video on how to get rid of the Arlos, how to get rid of your monthly subscription. This does have an app that's very similar to the Arlos. You can set times of day for things to happen. So I can have some cameras only record at night and not notify me, or when I'm away from the house, I can have it always notify me. It will either notify me on the phone. It will also record the video. I can record up to 2 minutes of video, and then it will re-record when the video, within 5 seconds if there's still motion. You can set activity zones, very similar to Arlo, which is kind of cool. So you can cut areas out, protective zones, so that you're not going to have any issue with trees blowing or a neighbor's house that you really don't want to continually see. And it also detects, this system is really cool. It has AI built into it, and it will detect faces. And so it will either notice it as a stranger in the app, and you can actually upload a picture or tag the picture, I believe, to let you know who it is. So every time I walk into an area, it recognizes my face, it detects me, and it identifies me as Kurt every time on the camera. So same thing with my family. I'll be able to detect people who come to the house. It will let me know if Joe or Sue or my FedEx person who I see on a regular basis comes up to the door. So it's a really cool system. I'm going to do a separate video on the setup. This is again meant to be kind of an intro and an opportunity to show you how to get rid of your Arlos and not have a monthly subscription. Now, with that said, Eufy does have the opportunity, if you want to actually have cloud storage, you could push this stuff up to the cloud for a monthly fee, which is cheaper than Arlo. You could also assign an alarm type monitoring system, because this, you can put other modules on this system. You can put water detectors, you can put smoke detectors, which will actually hear the sound of your smoke detector going off. So there are other accessories that go with this system. We're not trying those right now, but we think from a long-term perspective, those could be very valuable, especially from your insurance claim perspective. So in the event that you have a water leak under your sink or a leaky toilet and you have one of these little modules around that area, it will notify you of those small water leaks before they become big. So I think that's enough to cover for right now. Thanks for being with us at Full Octane. We look forward to having you back soon. We'll give you some updates on how this thing performs over time, how many false positives we get, and monitor the battery life of these things also. So don't forget to like and subscribe. If you happen to have any insurance needs, we are Full Octane Insurance. And we not only do collector cars, exotic cars, but we also now do homeowners, commercial, aircraft. So we can do just about any insurance that you need for your particular situation. So don't forget to check out fulloctane.com, and we'll talk to you soon. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. Our legal team made me promise to display this disclaimer before we ended the video. Please take a moment to read it before you make any buying decisions.